Guys. Well, it is, I don't even know, Wednesday. September 11th. Um, and have you guys been listening to the calls? Did everyone hear Carol Elizabeth talk this morning? Um, I'm seeing a lot of head nods. I love it. I love Carol Elizabeth because for many reasons, like we all do, but especially because she'll just say, I don't really have a big plan, but I'm going to speak from the heart. And I've got a little bit of a plan, but really I want to just speak from the heart. And the first thing I want to do is just see if anybody has any shout outs. Please just raise your hand, put it in the chat that you have a shout out, and I'll call on you and I'll make sure I unmute you. But I have a really big shout out for a lot of you. And some of you may have already heard from Renee, and she was going to post it today, but I don't know if she's gotten around to doing it. She'll probably do it tomorrow. But there's a new report feature that Isagenix came out with. And it literally pulls all of your downline activity, no matter how deep. Before, it used to only be by your 4 PET, like 4 removed. But this is basically all of the top income earners, and it includes PIBs and double PIBs. And so drum roll, please, because for the month of August, out of 20,000 people, I have to give the following a really, really, really big shout out, okay? This is the month of August, right? Okay, out of 20,000 people, number 3 is Andrea Labouchere. Yay! Okay, number 6 is Stacy Matsuka. Yay!
What are you talking about right now?
What, Andrea?
What are you talking about?
What do you mean what I'm talking about?
I just came back on. Number 3, what?
It's a new report, and Renee was able to pull. Isagenix came out with a new reporting feature, and out of all of her downline, not just 4 PET, it's the top income earners, including double PIB and PIBs for the month of August.
Oh, okay.
So, Stacy, you were number 3. Stacy is number 6. Angela Peterson's number 7. Like, guys, this is out of 20,000 people. I don't know if you really can comprehend. Number 10 is Melissa McDonald. Number 12, Stephanie Bullock. Number 14, Amy Farron. Number 16, Tammy Fry. And number 20, Kelsey Layton. Yay! Okay, y'all. This is really fired up. And this is basically our team in the top 20 out of 20,000 people in Renee's entire downline. So it's something she's going to try to start doing every month. And I guess, you know what? I can do it too. It just sounds even better when it's out of 20,000 people, but I'll be pulling it too. She just told me about it. It's brand spanking new. So a really massive congratulations to you. If I called your name, if I didn't call your name, it doesn't mean that you probably have gotten top income earner in the previous month, but August was a time where a lot of you shined. So we'll be singing other praises coming soon. But the other thing I want to give a shout out to is just to Morgan, Melissa McDonald, Allie Wright, and Angela Peterson for running with these start calls on Thursday nights, guys. It's very innovative. They've been working tirelessly on rolling these out all last week, just putting a lot of time and effort and energy towards this. And guys, like these are for us. These are for you all. And if you're not using these tools, you're really missing out. Now we have the Tuesday night Joe Ames call. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. is the call where Joe Ames will speak about the income opportunity, and you always will have a guest. So that is just your opportunity to invite people. Then Thursday night, forgive me, it's 8:30 Eastern time is the start calls. So I know you guys have people that you think would be excellent at this that you can reach out to. This is an opportunity to prospect and invite someone to look and learn more. Invite them to this call. They don't need to be reached out to you. You know what I mean? Like this, we now have weekly opportunities to simply introduce someone to this opportunity and why we think they'd be amazing and invite them to learn more at this call. It should be a part of your weekly regimen. So I'm super, super excited about these Thursday night calls. But does anybody else? Okay, cool. Morgan, Allie just said a huge shout out to Morgan, who stayed on Zoom with her last Tuesday night to perfect it, and Melissa and Angela for honest feedback about it all. I just love to see you guys really work together as a team. And, something that I was thinking about today is this is not, and we've said this before, this is not the Amanda and Andrea show. We need your energy and your creativity as much as you feel like maybe you need us. Like seeing you guys just say, we're going to do this and roll up your sleeves, that is what this is about. That's what this is about. I want to give an extra shout out also to people that I see that are putting together in-home events and just doing it. Carrie Mitchell, I know it scares her like there's no tomorrow, and she's more capable than she even realizes it. But Carrie and Christy Maxwell, or Christy Harris, are putting together one. They're calling it Prosecco and Protein. How cute, you guys. And it's going to be this coming Sunday, or I'm sorry, next Sunday. So who else is doing one? I feel like I know Crystal Willis and Allison have one on the books that they're doing. It's already on the calendar. But if you have one, did I see Stephanie? I can't remember. Someone put it on the chat, but I thought I saw Stephanie Bullock's doing one too. Is that right, Andrea? I don't know. I can't hear you. But anyway, Stephanie Bullock. Okay, Stephanie's doing one too with her mom. And Stephanie Bullock just said, shout out to Monica, who's in massive action and reaching out. And I see that. And I love it. And I love your questions, Monica, because we all have the same questions. And I just want to give you guys an applause for, like Carol Elizabeth says, just getting messy and just going. And that goes with people like Monica that's asking what to say and just saying it. That goes with people that are putting these events together and just going. And yeah, Andrea just said our Smyrna crew is doing their next Shake and Create August 29th at Pigtails and Crew Cuts. You guys, they're like continuing to do these like amazingly creative get-togethers, and I freaking love it. Oh, Stacy's doing one September 21. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm obsessed with it, guys. I love to see you guys just going and getting out of your own way. Oh my gosh, Morgan, I know Morgan and Kelsey have one coming up really soon too. I think it's like maybe this weekend. So just a really big round of applause. And if you're like, keep saying, I'm going to do it, go ahead and put it on the freaking calendar. Just do it. Just do it scared, do it messy, and just freaking go. And I want to just see if anybody else has anything. Andrea, do you have a shout out or anything that you wanted to add?
I just put one on there. You guys know Kaylee. She and her husband just moved to really close to where Stacy is. And so Stacy has taken her under her wing, and she's able to do events with her. And I think it's just so awesome that that's what this team is all about. Like, they are not even remotely financially linked, but Stacy's like, heck yeah, let's lock arms. And I know Kaylee is so grateful because she doesn't know anybody in that area. So I just wanted to shout out to Stacy for taking her in and helping her out and helping her get comfortable.
I love that, you guys. And it is what it's all about. It really is. Like, it's just working together as a team. And I also want to just say, our dear Elisa lost her cousin, and it was a traumatic just death. He passed away a few days ago. And if you just can keep Elisa in your thoughts and prayers, it's been really hard for her. And I love that she was about to partner. She was partnering with a couple girls outside completely our team, not even on global exec team. And they were putting together an event, and I know she's going to do it again, but obviously it's not going to work out right now. And I want to give her a big round of applause. And let's just think about her and say a prayer or just say good thoughts, because I know she's struggling right now. So, she's really struggling, but she's such a beautiful, so I just, I want to say that. And I want to say, if you're alone and you don't have anyone to do an Isagenix event with you, do it alone. You don't have to have a bestie with you. You don't have to have an Isagenix person with you. Just tell your story and we can help you. So I love that. And I really just want to segue into, let me look at the chat. Yep, one team. I love it. We're all about one team. I want to segue into some conversations I've had this week really great conversations. And what I'm feeling is that some people are getting in their own way a little bit and trying to overcomplicate this, what we're doing with Isagenix. And I've been there. And I just want to remind you that this really doesn't need to be an overwhelming process. And I saw a question that Amy Bruton had, and we'll get to the questions in a second, but that Amy Bruton had on just like, how do you, and I get this, Amy, we all have this struggle, but she's like, how do you just stay focused, especially when you have ADD? How do you just get to your income producing activities? And I want to just speak to that really quickly, if I could. We have to remember what we're doing with Isagenix is we're connecting. We're introducing people to learn more about the business. We're sharing about the products. We're always encouraging people to get 2 cleanse buddies. We're casting visions, right? We're vision casters. And at the end of the day, if you're like, I don't know what to do, I want to keep it really simple and remind you of the 3x3x3 daily goal. So reach out to 3 people. Any 3 people that you think would be excellent at this. Any 3 people that you see that are struggling with their nutrition, they've put it out there. Whatever it is, reach out to 3 people and share your Isagenix story. Connect with them. Or maybe don't even share their story. Maybe just connect with someone who you see in your team and you're trying to kind of like work that angle and build a relationship. Connect with 3 people. And then the third one is the follow up with 3 people. And then the last 3 is send someone a message that you authentically wanted to send where you're complimenting them. Like put goodness out to someone who doesn't need to be in your Isagenix team. One of my neighbors, I told her in person how I was like, you look so pretty today. She sent me a text later and said, you have no idea how much that meant to me. And I don't know. I mean, I really thought she just looked beautiful and she was having a tough day. And like the whole thought is like, when we put that good out there, it's going to come back to us. So if you're in a place where you're like, I don't know what to do, 3x3x3. And if you have the time where you've done 3x3x3 and you're still like, I want more, then send 3 more connecting messages and then send 3 more follow-up messages and then keep doing that until you're like, this is really fun. And then you just need a little break. If you're at a point where you don't know who to connect with, it's a cue and a trigger. You need to creatively expand your network. That's all we're doing, guys. So if you're like, I don't know who else, then get off your butt and just meet people. Then be creative about planning neighborhood dinners. Be creative about planning walking groups. I think so many people feel like paralyzed, but guys, all we're doing is connecting and meeting people and sharing. Don't get caught up in this world of consumption and training to the point where you just feel like you need to be this like well-oiled robot. Like I hope that kind of helps you guys a little bit. Like just take it back to the basics of what we're doing, which is just connecting. Don't get caught up with the fancy social media images and all this and all that. Just be you and just go and connect and talk to people, So I wanted to say that. And, if you're not sure what system you're following, you can't expect the people you're enrolling to be following a system. So I want you guys to get really crystal clear on what your process is when people are interested in learning more. Okay? I want you guys to have it down like a well-oiled machine. I'm going to give you a couple different scenarios. The first scenario is what I do. Okay? And this may or may not work for everybody. I'm going to give you a second scenario that could also work for you, especially if you're maybe busier and you can't be, I don't know, actually, both I think would work even if you're busy, but because I did it when I was home with my 6-month-old and she was not taking many naps. But, anyway, when someone's interested, we're sharing a little bit, we're finding out their goals, we're adding them to Ramp Effect. So if someone's interested, we're always adding them to the Ramp Effect page. We're always sharing just a little bit about what it is that we love. We're finding out what their pain points are. There is a file in Residual Rockstars that's called How to Respond When Someone Wants to Know More. It will literally help you articulate how to share your story and how to share a little bit about Isagenix. Andrea has a great point. When you add them to Ramp Effect, once they've come to you. You share a little. You can say, oh, by the way, since you've asked for some information, I'm going to go ahead and invite you to be added to our private community that's full of testimonies. It's called Ramp Effect. But you need to make sure you accept the notification on your end. You guys, always, someone's interested, we're going to add them to the page. It is a way to plant seeds. So make sure you're doing that. If you don't know what to say, go to the file that says how to respond when someone wants to know more. And then lastly, we set up a time to chat with them. And in the file, if you search for the file in the file section, the whatever, you guys know I'm trying to say, the file section of the page, Residual Rockstars, in the comment section, so there's the document that shares how to share more, right? In the comment section, once they respond after you've shared more, it's also a message on how to get them on the phone. It's some verbiage. I'm not this script just works for me, and it's not even, and I don't even use the script, but it's something, and I want you guys to tweak it and make it yours. And we set up a chat. What I do is when the chat is scheduled, I send them the assessment before it takes place. That's what I do. The assessment has 2 videos on it already. Okay? I love the assessment. I'm loving it. It's uncovering a lot of information. It's helping make the call more efficient. If you have questions on any of that, please speak up. If you don't have the most updated assessment, I will send it again on our Residual Rockstar thread. Save it in your notes app. The second way you can do this is how Elizabeth Lacconi and Renee has their team do it. And it's very clear and concise. But I want you guys, if you get anything out of this call, it's to understand what your process is and to know if you want a team that's duplicating and growing, you need to be clear about what your process is so they follow it too. Okay? So what Renee and Elizabeth like to coach people on is someone's interested, you add them to the page, just like I said. You tag them on that pinned video at the top of Ramp Effect page that's called Isagenix Advantage. From there, you message them to get feedback on what they thought. And then the last one is you send the goal assessment form. And you ask for them, if you fill that out, give me an idea so I can make the best recommendations. And then the fifth, just like I do, is you set up a call or a 3-way call if you're new to this. If you are so busy and you just simply can't talk to people, there's nothing wrong with doing it over audio or doing it over a message, but I highly recommend you not do that alone if you're new to this. You loop someone in your 3-way message. So I'm not trying to be redundant here. I'm not trying to tell, I know a lot of you guys know these things, but I was listening to an Eric Worre podcast today, and what he said with me really struck a chord. If we are not crystal clear about our own processes, we cannot expect our team to be. So how I like to do it is the way I just explained the first option. The second option is still great, but please be clear on what you're doing and how to coach your team. Okay? And if you have people on your team that are interested in the business and you're not introducing someone in your upline to them and letting them help you, then you're missing out. If you have people interested, you need to have someone help you, especially if you're new to trying to grow a business and coach people on the business. So please don't try to do this on your own. I would not, when I first started to do this, I didn't know what I was doing, just like nobody, just like when we all were day one, no one knew what we were doing. And Renee, I leveraged Renee a lot for my 3-way calls for products, a lot. And then that transitioned into me finally feeling comfortable to do that on my own. And then when I had people wanting to share, I always would get her on the phone because I needed to learn how she was coaching people because that's how I learned. So, but at the same time, it makes them feel a part of our community. We want, we want to introduce them, especially if they're interested in the business. And Angela and I were talking about this yesterday. When you have someone interested in the business, she enrolled someone on a value pack. So did Amy Bruton. Big shout out to you girls. Last week, both interested in the business. Amy enrolled a gym owner. Angela enrolled someone else, not a gym owner, but someone interested in the business. Amazing. And I said to Angela, let's set up a call And maybe she's not ready to go gangbusters, but let's just set her up like, I would love to introduce you to my friend who's really impacted me. And she can just, invite, we can welcome you to the community and she can give you tips. And I would just love you to meet her because whatever, she means the world to me. I'm just kidding. You know what I mean? But like, introduce people because it makes them feel a part of our team already. And I don't see that happening a lot. So if it is, I don't see it because I know that, maybe I bet Kelsey and Morgan are doing those things. And I know you guys have Andrea, so I don't see everything and it doesn't need to always go to me. You know what I mean? But if your upline person is not very active, you go to the next person. If they're not very active, you go to the next person. You can come to me. You don't need to be in the food. You know what I mean? Come to us anytime. I just had to say that because I'm telling you, it's going to make a massive difference in how you're growing. If you introduce someone and have them help you coach, and I promise you, it's going to edify this opportunity. It's going to edify you, and it's going to make it more real and relatable. So I'm going to get to these questions really quick. And I want to just say something. When I was listening to Eric Worre today, this was such a good episode, you guys. This is his podcast. And you guys, if you don't know, Eric Worre is a master network marketing professional, trainer, billionaire. He's written books. He's awesome. And that's where I got the tools piece, right? Like it made me really want to talk to you guys about the tools and make sure we're being clear. But he said that if you are, he said, with the way the world is today, anyone can be successful in network marketing through social media. And if you're not, then you're not really trying. So if you guys are and he was just saying he does that. He posts everywhere. He posts on LinkedIn. He posts on Instagram. He posts on Twitter. He posts on Facebook. You don't need to be obnoxious all the time. But if you're not doing at least 2 to 3 Isagenix posts weekly, you're not really reaching much of an audience. With the way the world is today, he said every network marketer should be a millionaire because social media is like free marketing and it's an amazing platform. If you're not using social media, you're missing out majorly. So, what did he say? He just said, get over yourself and just do it. He said, stop giving an F about the algorithms. Stop giving an F about how many likes you have. He said, if you're consistent and you share your story, all we're doing is sharing our stories. The guy on there said something that we've all heard before, but he said the biggest mistake is when you're selling what the product is and not what it does. So all we're doing is retelling our story, and that's the marketing world, right? We're adding new contacts all the time. We're always just putting a twist on our story and other people's stories. Just be a storyteller. But we have such an opportunity, and it's just being vulnerable. And I just think a lot of you are missing out on that. And I'm not saying be annoying and ever all of this, but don't just post once a month and think people are, it's just another way to build your platform and your business. So, Andrea, do you want to jump to the questions really quick? I know I think we can just go to those 2 questions, and anything that you wanted to add though before that?
No, and I think, going to the questions, aside from the question about how to build, kind of going back to Amy's question of, the overwhelm, the sense of overwhelm, the feeling of overwhelm, first of all, validating that feeling and recognizing that we all feel that. But the answer is, and always will be, use the tools. If you find that you are becoming the tool, in that every time somebody comes to you with a question, you personally are answering it, guess what? You've just become the tool. And you are not giving them the power to find the information themselves. And that, as a teacher, was one of the most aha moments I ever had when I was teaching, because I could so easily answer the questions that my students were giving me. But what good was that doing them? So rather than answer their questions, I would direct them back to the text, right? The answer is there. So it's the same thing here. We want to empower them, because remember, it's always about how we always have to think, every decision we make, we have to ask ourselves, am I being duplicatable right now? And if you are being the product expert or even the comp plan expert, like, you're not doing yourself a favor and you're not doing them a favor. So Isagenix has provided every single freaking video that we need. And if it's been a while since you've gone to isamovie.com and just sat down and familiarized yourself with those videos, it's time to go do that. Because I guarantee you, you're going to learn something new and you're going to hold on to that information. That's going to empower you, but it's also going to help you to be able to know where to send people. The other suggestion that I had for Amy, because right now, Amy, I'm talking about Amy Bruton, and some of you are in the same situation. You guys are in a little bit of momentum. You've been super intentional since you came back from Nashville. You've enrolled a solid handful of people. You've had people who you enrolled several months back and they've had great product experiences. And now they're like, yeah, I want to share, because we know the deal, guys. Most people need to use these products for 60, 30, 60, 90 days before they're ready to share. And that's fine. But now you've got these people like Kelsey, it's going to be coming your way, girlfriend, with all those people that you just enrolled. Now is the time when they are going to be like, well, my mom asked me what I was doing. My aunt wanted to know, like, especially as the holidays start and parties start, people are going to be like, what did you do? You look great. So my suggestion, as often as you can, is to clump those people together. Like, go ahead and schedule a Zoom call with me or whomever, right? And get as many of those people on one Zoom call as you can. And let's go ahead and have them meet each other, right? This is like a 3-way call, but expanded, because you're able to introduce them to your upline in one fell swoop. And you can have them start to build a community, because they're all going to be in a similar place, right? And then you could even start a message thread with them or a text thread where they are all able to support each other. And you say, you guys go ahead and friend each other on social media, like, make them feel a part of the community, because they're like your next class coming up, right? So those were kind of my suggestions for Amy when she and I chatted yesterday. And then the other question, Amanda, was how do we know how to build? Was that you?
Yeah, let me actually pull it up so I can read to you. I have it up on my phone. Oh, I did. But I can remember it. Hold on. Sorry. My phone's, of course, moving slow. It was, how do we, hold on. Here we go. All right. Okay, so Jessica Scraggs and Abby sort of have similar questions, but Abby had asked the question of how do you explain the team and focus leg to a new consultant or someone in general that's new? And then beyond the 300 and 600, the strategy and inside and outside and where to put the spouse, etc. Jessica piggybacked on that and said, I know we're supposed to build on your team side first, but if you do that, won't that delay your rank advancements? So do you want to take that one?
Yeah, I definitely can. And there's, guys, this is a really, really layered question. And, the best way, this is going to sound a little really cliche, but like, honestly, the best way to really understand this compensation plan is to experience this compensation plan. So, reassure yourself that as you enroll more people and as you continue to grow, it's all going to start to click. Like, but here's the basics. When you're starting out, whether it's you or you are helping someone to start out, the most important thing to do is make sure that they are a solid consultant. And in my opinion, that means that you go left, right, or right, left. It doesn't matter which side you start on. If it's a spouse, it does matter. But left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, until you know that person is not going to fall off as a consultant. because I see it all the time. We want to cycle, so we start putting people on our focus leg, and then they lose consultant status. So you want to make sure that you are a solid consultant. So, and you have to remember too, guys, everybody has a different business center. Some of you are sitting on really, really strong team legs. And so the urge and the desire to start enrolling down your focus leg is so strong, which I totally get, because you're like, oh, I've got all this team volume sitting there. All I have to do is enroll on my focus leg, and then you can cycle, which again, I totally get it. It makes sense. And you need to work with your upline to make sure that is the right situation for you, but it may not be, because everybody has different business owners. Some of us are on dead even legs. So our team leg and our focus leg switch constantly, right? That's my situation. That's Amanda's situation. So we're constantly having to go back and forth. So everybody's in a different situation. And a lot of those questions are answered based on your goals. So if you are, casually sharing, you love earning extra income with Isagenix, and you want your products paid for and maybe a little bit extra, that is a different strategy than trying to earn a 6-figure plus income and becoming an Isagenix millionaire. Okay. But at the end of the day, yeah, Allie, we all build 2 legs. Some of us have more strength on one leg than the other, and there's a different strategy there. So that, but really, when we're explaining to people in the beginning, first of all, we don't want to confuse them or overwhelm them and make them start doing math unless they're asking. Like, if they're genuinely like, hold up, I really want to understand how this works, then you can go there. But don't start throwing 600 and 300 at them, because they have no idea what you're talking about. All right. The bottom line is you say the most important rank you can ever have in this company is consultant, because that's how we earn residual income. And then what I say to them is, every single enrollment you have, please come to me, because I want to know about this person. And then I want to be able to advise you on which side to put them on. And if you aren't doing that, you're really doing that person and yourself a disservice. And guys, the computer will automatically default, and it won't always work in your favor. So you need to make sure that in the beginning, as you are learning and as you are helping your people to learn, that you're not letting people enroll themselves on the computer unless you have gone ahead of them and make sure that the placement is correct. And most of you don't know how to do that. So the bottom line is, you probably shouldn't be letting them enroll on their own. That's just kind of my 2 cents on that, Amanda. I don't know if you want to.
No, and I mean, I agree. I think it's personal based on people, but for the most part, a lot of people are doing 2 on their team, 1 on their focus, 2 on their team, 1 on their focus, or right, left, focus, left, Renee always suggests 2 on team, 1 in focus, just because having a strong team leg is really the best thing that you could ever want. So I like that strategy. Yep. You don't want to go, if you are a professional network marketer, or you are like, meaning you've been doing this and you're like, I'm ready to freaking enroll 10 people in a week and they're going to be like killing it. If you're like coming out of the gates and you're like, I'm going to freaking blow this up, and I feel like some of you could do this, but I don't think, not many people are in this situation. If you're that person, you want to build all down your team leg and then move to your focus leg. But not many people move that fast and furious. So a lot of people start to get discouraged if they build all down their team leg, like 10 down their team leg, because they're not cycling, they're not hitting any bonus, and they're like, this sucks. I'm not even making any money. And so we're really a big fan of, seeing people, grow. And with that comes the 5-cycle bonuses and cycling. So anyway.
Yeah, I agree. And when Amanda and I started, that was the only strategy we knew, because that was what Herb Cepeda taught. And
which
so
was the write down 10 on your team.
Yep.
And so we never
That's all we knew. So then we started duplicating that, and we saw a lot of people leave because
they didn't have 5-cycle bonus then, but still.
We did not have 5-cycle bonus then. That's true.
But they still didn't cycle much at first.
Yeah. Yep. But so the way that her teaches it now, which makes total sense to me, is if you're going to enroll 10 people in your first 2 months, then obviously you become a consultant first. That's step one. But we're old. We are grandmas over here. Enroll, but if you're going to enroll 10 people in your first 2 months, then let's put them all down your team leg and get a solid team leg going. And then you can flip over, because guys, that's why the executive rank is the way it is, right? Like it could be so easy to build 10 consultants down one side because you have a ton of team volume. But the idea is that we build 2 legs and we help the team on both sides. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, if you don't know how to coach people and where to enroll, it's another reason you need to pull in someone who is in your upline and have them help you coach your people. And that's how you learn.
Yeah. And that goes back to, I think Susan asked the question of how do we drive the line? How do we, so that's there right there, that example right there, because like, let's just say, for example, Jen Ferencik comes to me and she's like, I've got this Pilates instructor, she's amazing. She's ready to rock this. And immediately I'm going to want to be connected with that person. And so is Susan. So there, for me, that's 4 PET down for me, right? So I would want to set up a call, right? So I want Susan involved with that person, and I also want to be involved with that person. So the more hands on deck we have to support people and those people know that we can coach them, the more that they're going to be a part of our community, and the more that the things are going to click for Jen as well as Susan, because they're going to be learning from me. And then the spouse question. So the spouse always goes on the inside leg.
Which means focus leg. Inside and focus leg. Okay, I just want to clarify that. Some people didn't know that, so.
Yes, but that's not always true.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Because somebody's inside leg could be their team leg based on volume. But for sake of argument and clarity, yes, the inside leg is your focus leg. And the spouse always goes on the inside leg. All right. If you don't know how to figure out your inside leg, you need to know what side you were enrolled on by your enrolling sponsor. So Amanda enrolled me on her right side. So my inside leg is my left leg. And that's where my husband is at the very top. And then just to take that one step further, that sounded really weird. My husband's on my inside leg at the very top. It's a cleanse day, y'all. To take that one step further, Camille, ew. So just so you guys know, when you enroll somebody on your inside leg, whatever side you put that person on, their team leg is that side. So my husband's on my left side, which means his left leg is his team leg and his right leg is his focus. So it flips. All right. But like Amy Bruton is on my right side. So her team leg is her right side and her focus leg is her left side. All right. So it can be a little, sometimes it's like, that just made my head hurt. Right. Yeah. But like, again, the more you experience it, the more it starts to click. But again, if you're not sure, come and ask.
Yeah, don't assume. Come to us. Yeah.
And truth be told, if you make a mistake, you have 24 hours to fix it. Customer service.
Actually, 48 hours, but.
Okay, 48 hours, even better to fix it.
I've had to fix it sometimes.
Hi, Evie. Mm-hmm. And, but that's why that communication, don't ever feel like you're bothering us. Like, that's why we're here. And we want you to do it right, because remember, your success is our success, right? Like, this is all hands on deck. And a lot of us have experience with that. So don't ever feel like you can't ask. Was there anything else?
So basically you always want someone to enroll their spouse on their opposite leg that they're on. So if Andrea is on my right leg, which is her team leg. So of course she's going to enroll Mark. She enrolled her husband on her opposing leg, which is her focus leg. So I just want to make sure everyone got that. That's your revenue generating leg. If you want to be strategic, that's how you want to do it. Now we've seen people that accidentally have their team leg, their spouse is on their team leg. It's not the end of the world, but you're going to really be putting someone in a great position if you do it the way I just explained, the way Andrea just explained. So as far as driving the lines, I just want to say one other thing about that. In your back office, what will happen is, I'm sure a lot of you have run into this, where you start enrolling people who enroll people. And all of a sudden the person you first enrolled is no longer excited about Isagenix. They're not doing crap. So driving the lines is going to your back office and clicking view my team, finding that person who once enrolled some people or a person, hitting the toggle button, the add button next to their name, and it will show you a list of people they have enrolled. You can click on their member ID. It will have their phone number. Usually, I've noticed sometimes it doesn't, but you always want to reach out to them. And
phone number or email.
Or their email. Mm-hmm. ISAPulse also will tell you your downline activity, and it has an icon for an envelope for an email or a phone number. So you can send them a text, or you can call them, or you can email them. But especially if you know that you're seeing these people, that you know that person that enrolled them is out to lunch, it is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to cultivate a relationship, or at least send them a message and see how you can help make sure they have what they need. And I that's what I do on a daily basis. That is how you drive your lines. And you're missing out massive opportunities if you're not going and digging into your back office and reaching out to people, inviting them to support groups, letting them know about the seasonal shake release, inviting them to calls to learn more about the business, and just trying to meet new people in your downline. So this is critical. Of course, what Andrea said is so key too, where if you have someone that's starting to duplicate, you want to be a part of their coaching process. If you don't know how to coach them, you bring in Andrea and you do a group coaching situation so you can learn. So just like the person that you enroll that is new to sharing, they start enrolling people, help your person and put them in a group. And if you don't know how to coach them, you create your own group. But guys, people are getting missed out. People are missing out. People are being left out. We want to set people up for success. We want to drive the lines. Depth is residual income. That's how you grow. That's why this compensation plan rocks. It's because you don't even know half these people that are sharing and duplicating. But if you're not reaching out, then you're missing out. You're missing out.
I like to think of customers in my downline as your customers are the ones who are going to pay your bills. All right. So making sure that your customers are happy and informed, they're the ones that are going to pay your bills. Now, your business builders are going to be the ones that set you free, right? But those customers are the ones who are going to pay your bills and take care of your residual income. So don't forget about them, even if you didn't personally enroll them, because you never know. And I've had several consultants who have dropped out when they enrolled several people, and I follow up with those people as often as I can. And they know how to reach out to me. And that's the most important thing to me. I want to make sure that they know how to find me if they need anything. And I love those questions, guys. That means you guys are thinking, and you're thinking big. And
they're great questions.
They're awesome. I have one, just to close out, Amanda. So I have my little calendar for today. Amanda gives me this calendar every year. My birthday's Monday. So here's today's message from Jen Sincero, who I know we all love. All right. The number one thing wealthy people attribute their success to is tenacity. Nobody achieves great success without walking through the fire. And the difference between those who succeed and those who fail is a no-nonsense commitment to staying the course, no matter how hot the fire gets. There is almost always a moment when all hell breaks loose. You lose a key client. Your storeroom burns down. Starbucks moves in across the street from the coffee shop you just opened. And in these moments, you have two choices. You can either say, screw it, I'm out of here, or is that all you got, sucker? So ask yourself tonight, as you think about this call and you think about the rest of your week and the rest of your year. We're halfway through September. I had to pay quarterly taxes today. All right.
Oh shoot, I need to do that.
Amanda, what are you going to do? Have you lost somebody who you thought, that's it, my business is going to crumble now? You haven't. Trust me. If you knew how many people Amanda and I have lost in this journey, it's sad. It sucks.
It doesn't suck. I'm going to say this, I have to cut you off. When people leave my business, I am so happy to see them go. I know that's going to sound really weird and maybe backwards, but I love it when they go, because I know at the end of the day, I literally pour my heart and soul into people, and I do everything I can to help them grow. And I don't want a bunch of energy suckers. I will not tolerate that. And I don't want people that aren't going to be coachable in my business. So when you see people go, wish them well. Don't we're not talking bad about them. It saves room for the right people and for you to focus on finding the good energy. And I really want to encourage you guys to change your mentality from, oh, no one's coming to my business, to I am attracting people ready for growth in my business. And when you get into that mindset, you're going to. So Andrea, so sorry. I just had to jump in and say that.
That's perfect. I agree. I actually had somebody today who asked if I could just enroll people under her so that she could stay consultant.
Oh God, no, that is hilarious. That's a good one for the books.
She's like, that's actually a perfect business strategy. I'm like,
oh my God.
Yeah, suckers. Exactly, Carrie.
Later, sucker.
I don't need that energy.
Okay.
Anyway, it's late. It's a cleanse night. I need to go to sleep. I love y'all.
All right, love y'all. This is a great call.
You're amazing.
All right. See you guys.
Amanda.
Bye.